Daily Bible reading, 2 Kings chapter 1. After Ahab's death, Moab rebelled against Israel. Ahaziah fell through the lattice in his upper chamber at Samaria and was injured. So he sent messengers whom he instructed, "Go inquire of Baal-zebub, the god of Ekron, whether I shall recover from this injury." But an angel of the Lord said to Elijah the Tishbite, "Go and confront the messengers of the king of Samaria, and say to them, Is there no God in Israel that you go to inquire of Baal-zebub, the god of Ekron? Assuredly, thus said the Lord, you shall not rise from the bed you are lying on, but you shall die." And Elijah went. The messengers returned to Ahaziah, and he asked, "Why have you come back?" They answered him, "A man came toward us and said to us, 'Go back to the king who sent you, and say to him, Thus said the Lord, Is there no God in Israel that you must send to inquire of Baal-zebub, the god of Ekron? Assuredly you shall not rise from the bed you are lying on, but shall die.' What sort of man was it," he asked them, "who came toward you and said these things to you?" "A hairy man," they replied, "with a leather belt tied around his waist." "That's Elijah the Tishbite," he said. Then he sent to him a captain of 50 with his 50 men. He climbed up to him and found him sitting at the top of a hill. "Man of God," he said to him, "by order of the king, come down." Elijah replied to the captain of the 50, "If I am a man of God, let fire come down from heaven and consume you with your 50 men. And fire came down from heaven and consumed him and his 50 men. The king then sent to him another captain with his 50 men, and he addressed him as follows, "Man of God, by order of the king, come down at once." But Elijah answered him, "If I am a man of God, let fire come down from heaven and consume you with your 50 men. And fire of God came down from heaven and consumed him and his 50 men. Then he sent a third captain of 50 with his 50 men. The third captain of 50 climbed to the top, knelt before Elijah, and implored him, saying, "O man of God, please have regard for my life and the lives of these 50 servants of yours. Already fire has come from heaven and consumed the first 2 captains of 50 and their men. I beg you, have regard for my life." Then the angel of the Lord said to Elijah, "Go down with him, do not be afraid of him." So he rose and went down with him to the king. He said to him, "Because you sent messengers to inquire of Baal-zebub, the god of Ekron, as if there were no God in Israel whose word you could seek, assuredly you shall not rise from the bed which you are lying on, but you shall die." And Ahaziah died, according to the word of the Lord that Elijah had spoken. Jeroham succeeded him as king in the 2nd year of King Jeroham, son of Jehoshaphat of Judah, for he had no son. The other events of Ahaziah's reign and his actions are recorded in the annals of the kings of Israel.